December 27th, 10 o'clock. It's District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, the man's silent now. Very well, apparently the prosecution is also ready. Honestly, fair enough, Judge. He's been bossing you around so much. Who is the judge here, anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Very well, no opening statement, so... Not so fast, Judge. Why would you object if you just took forever to respond? I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. No you didn't. No you weren't. If it was meaningful, it would have been before the court had started. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end in 3 minutes from now. Well, time to prove this wrong. Order! Order! Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Bah, you must question everything. Yes, that is our job. Welcome to the law world. It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I'll call my witness now. Right. I call my witness, my decisive witness, to the stand. It's the mysterious boat shop owner. Is he really mysterious, or is he just senile? Witness, state your profession. Not his name? I'm the proprietor, right, of the restaurant Wet Noodle at Gold Lake. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yep. Yep, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this old guy is. I mean, does that change anything? Does it? Sure, why not? Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Well, I predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Well, you're already wasting time. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. How is this not a major thing? Yeah, right. The witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure. Yep. You're not sure who you are? What do you mean? My, memory. Your Honor. I mean, he's got memories issues. Like, you know. Like, if memory issues isn't really a reliable witness then, is he? Because he could get things wrong. The witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. How come you're the one telling us that? Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. He can't recall, you say? Well, yeah. Yes, but the incident that took in question, the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Are we sure about that? I don't know. Very well. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we? Witness? The night of the murder. It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight, yep. I was in the restaurant, where I, rent boats, as usual. That's a sentence. Then I heard a bang, yep. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating around the lake. Then I heard another bang. Okay, just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination.
Objection.
There's nothing to question in my witness's testimony. What? Can you shut up? What do you mean there's nothing to question? There's evidence that the gun was fired 3 times, with only a single shot hitting the victim. Yet there's only 2 accounts of a bang going off. That is an inconsistency within the evidence. There is a reason to question things. Why are you so defensive? Ergo, we no need for a cross-examination. Besides, there's only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict now. Yes. Mr. Wright? What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Excuse me, Mr. Von Karma? I'm with the judge on this, excuse me? But, like, let's be fair. Whatchamacallit? He's just a spoiled child in a grown man's body. 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. Night of the murder. Right, press everything. Just after midnight, you say? Yep, around then. Are you sure? Pretty sure, yep. Then it would be the 25th. When I talked to you yesterday, you were really rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem to be sure about it today. I asked him, and he remembered. Oh, how convenient. Isn't that right? Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it clearly, I did. Yep. See? Continue. Is there anyone who can verify that? Well, I guess Polly could. Are we sure? That's not good enough for the court of law, Mr. Wright. Exactly what's not good enough? Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot? Don't be so hard on the girl, Keithy boy. I mean, true, it's not the lad's fault. Keith? The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. I don't know, I said shot. Witness, please continue. Then I heard a bang. Yep. And where did the bang seem to come from? From the lake, I figure. You figure? Are you certain? Yep. Good. Continue. When I looked out, I saw the boat just floating in the lake. Was there someone in the boat? It was pretty far out there. I couldn't see clearly. But I figured there were 2 men out there, yep. But you couldn't see them clearly. Oh, yep. At the time, that is. At the time. It's true, because one did apparently come back. That's fair enough. That's a valid statement. So you had 2 gunshots total? Yep. That's what Allah said in the testimony yesterday. Just but then the boat comes back to shore and the man walks by the window. By your window. Yep, by my window. Right outside the window of my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me, so I saw him. There's a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. Tisk tisk tisk. I have a bad feeling about this. Say, I can't believe he's dead. Are you sure? Oh. Ooh, Dad. Oh, that wakes him up. Dead certain, Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead, as he was walking by, too. Sounds like Edgeworth. Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy. He fell over. This sounds like a decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. Von Karma. He lured me into a cross-examination so he could set me up for a fall. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. I better act quick, or this trial is going to be over. Raise an objection. Wait and see what happens. What is there to object to? I'm gonna wait. But, how can I raise an objection without any proof? Judge, there's no room for doubt in the witness's testimony. I demand that you declare your verdict. The judge is lost in thought. What do I do? It's asking me twice. We'll wait again. Can't see any room for an objection. Better hold back and see how things develop. Nick, we have to do something. If we stay quiet now, Mitch Edgeworth will be found guilty for sure. It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, are you sure? To be honest, I don't know anymore. Well, I don't know what to do anymore. Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you. 3 minutes was perhaps too high of an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. You were trying to break a record for 3 minutes? Enough. The evidence may leave the stand. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. Nor is there any reason for more time to decide the case against the defendant. In this case is extremely clear. There's no room for misinterpretation of the facts. What? No. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, guilty. Damn, I guess he really did do it. The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held for pending trial for a high court within a month of today's date. That is all. Court is adjourned. Well, that's game over. Oh, I guess not. Oh, who was that just now? Me. Huh? What? What are you doing here? What are you... What? Okay. What are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. That is not true, you lying liar. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday, but today I remembered it. Remembered what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Pretty sure this is illegal, because, like, don't you have to warn people about the witnesses? What's the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard the gunshot? Yeah, I did, a gunshot, that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony, and then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify, let me testify. Okay, Larry. Second time inside the courtroom, and this time you're not the defendant. This is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick, that is it. Larry's giving us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. Yeah, I'm on both sides of this. Hooray for more chances. I thought this was game over because I waited. But also, you know, it's Larry. That's like relying on a piece of string to support something. He could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. That's fair enough. You're right. Okay. Come on, Larry, let's go. Your Honor, if there is another witness, it is our duty to hear them speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Yeah, it can. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistakes have been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? Honestly, fair dues, Judge. Best to you. I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now. What? Oh, it's the first time he's been receiving orders. The court will adjourn for 5 minutes, for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear his new testimony, the new witness. Court is adjourned. Fair enough. It has only been half an hour. Okay. Not even half an hour, but still. Ooh. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. So, for someone who's on, who was like childhood friends, surprised they're not on first name basis. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. I wonder what Larry plans to say about it in there. I mean, yep, he doesn't look confident. I was at the lake that night? Yes. He said he went looking for the Steel Samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Alright. And he found the balloon in the air tank that night. Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something, right? Yeah, lots of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Oh. You picked up the gun, right? When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. I was thinking gay. Then I saw the pistol in in front of me, and I picked it up without thinking. Honestly, yeah, no, that's, if you're in shock, that makes sense to me. That's like, obviously it's not a smart thing to do, but it's a very reasonable thing to do when you've just witnessed someone die in front of you and you don't know why. Is the victim left-handed then? Because how can Miles be found guilty if he was proven to be, like, the photos proven that he wasn't the one holding the gun? I don't really have any reason, really. No, I didn't really have a reason. I see. Right, yeah. This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. But now he's got Larry. Okay, then. I see the positives to this, then. Fair enough. That's his secret to success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. Larry. He has to let someone he has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. Fair enough. Larry is the secret weapon. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? That's right, Nick. Do a 10-minute trials this time. We'll make this one, milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15. Everything's on Larry now. Okay. So we just have to prove that everything Larry says is true. Okay. 5 minutes? Nice. Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw. Don't we need a name and profession first? On the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. Or do mess this one up. Just not for us. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. The fear in this old man's eyes. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep this as witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. That night I was out on the boat on the lake. I was looking for something, I found it. So I quietly slipped it back in the boat and at the rental shop dock. Just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked over the lake, but didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. Is it not possible that the shop owner had saw Larry as the single person in the boat? That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go out, but forward, Nick. Cool. Am I going to get damaged for pressing his statements? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? There's so many things wrong that I don't even know where to begin. Well, okay. First of all, what time was it? It was after 11 when I went out in the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night, so I waited until the coast was clear to speak. And why were you out on a boat such a late hour? Something, and I found it. What is it that you found? Looking for something? Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it that you were looking for? Someone remembers his name. And sadly, it's not Gumshoe remembering the right name. What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy. No, we know for a fact he wasn't. That's surprisingly close to the truth, in a sense. Yeah, you know what? Phoenix is right. I'm wrong. This is all irrelevant. Let's get this over with. Okay. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I think I was searching for about an hour. So I guess it was around 12 o'clock, yeah. Are you sure? Yay, don't give me that face. I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. Yeah, but it was also dark and foggy. So, I'm kind of on Larry's side on this one. That's weird to say. Then, just as I was thinking of heading home, I heard this bang. Where did this sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? You were on the lake, weren't you? Yeah, I looked. I looked over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order! Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Whoa, whoa. Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out or not. Out there or not. Okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of the case. So after I heard the gunshot, I went home. So you only had one bang, correct? Yeah. Huh. Well, Nick? It was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish you could call my sister. Well, the contradiction that we mainly have is the number of shots, right? Bang. After that, a single gunshot, I went home. So present... gunshot, right? Since it was shot 3 times. Nope, music's still going. Your Honor, this contradicts this evidence. Huh? It does? I don't see any contradiction. It was fired 3 times. Huh? Really? Objection overruled. Try to think of... Whoops. Didn't go well. Oh, no, that's the wrong button. Do I just hold... No, how do I what button? I have to spam it. Alright. I have to go all the way back again. After that, a single gunshot. Right, present. Court Lake. Listic markings. Oh, a lot of this thing. Here you go. Wait a second, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang? You sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know, something has been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. You gotta treat me like nice and stuff, okay? The customer's not always right. Mr. Butts, what? You only had one gunshot? Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. You're not sure? How could you be not sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude. With my headphones. What? Larry? Yeah. Order! Order! And stop the booing! Mr. Butts, you were listening to a radio on your headphones? Yes, so what? Is that a crime? I listen to my radio, everyone listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness, nor his shoddy testimony. It is... I accept his testimony, but I do admit that it doesn't prove much. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue to testify? No, he's on our side. Your Honor, please allow this to continue his testimony. Bah, nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Then why you keep trying, Von Karma? Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there was any other way out of this, believe me. What Larry heard. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I listened to an All Requests show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud, like... But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly the DJ saying when I heard it too. You're listening to your radio at a high volume? I mean, I do listen to things pretty high volume, to be fair. Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem is here. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe his testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer. The guy who says things on the radio. Anyway. What this means is, when he heard the sound, no music was playing. Only a DJ ever talks between songs. So he could have heard a gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. I mean, it's working. Just run with it, Phoenix. What Larry heard. Cool. So you turned on the radio? Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know? You don't know what it's like to be out there alone on Christmas Eve alone? I shouldn't have said anything. An All Request? Do you by chance remember the name of the program you were listening to? This has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Well, I mean, that depends, because, like, don't different radio stations do different things? At least if, like, for example, if we knew the scheduling of the radio, then we would have the ability to know, like, more an accurate time frame, correct? I don't know if I'm just spewing nonsense, but, you know, I'm just thinking maybe it'll help. Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That is all we need to know. Tell him, Mr. Butts, how loud was your radio set that night? I was listening to it real booming loud, like... Real booming loud? Yeah, you know. And you had your headphones on? Yep. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all. But I'm sure I heard the gunshot. Can you prove that? No, of course you can't. No, I can't prove it. But I remember the moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back to me real clear. Okay, Well, it came back real clear to me, you know? And what did the GG say? What did she say? How do we know it's she? Mr. Wright, please cease this pointless questioning. What possible good could knowing what a DG has said to us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only for serious reason. I don't know. I don't know, we should care? Sure, why not? I trust him. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well... how do you know if we don't ask? Very well, fine. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was it the radio announcer said when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. I heard this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how this helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony ever heard. Hold on. So it's almost Christmas, so it was 24th. Which contradicts this one. So, oh, Larry, you're a genius. But there's a gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it. Okay, come on. Larry, you have saved us at all the time. Just a minute, presents. Larry, are you absolutely sure that's what you're saying is correct? What's with that face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. He says, sweating buckets. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas, when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realise what that means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes, but he should have heard the gunshot after midnight. The photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Miss Hart's camera. 50 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard gunshots before midnight. Judge, this is a simple answer. The current witness is painfully mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Very well, Mr. Wright. What do you think about Mr. Butt's claim we heard a gunshot before midnight? Larry's right. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence that would, for this claim. Well, everyone else has claimed 2 gunshots. Show me the evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. Could it be that there was 3 shots missing? This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol that was bothering me, Your Honor. Both the witnesses who testified yesterday had 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When then was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. The 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Order! I guess that would make sense out of make some sense out of yesterday's testimonies. Bah, you waste your time again with your empty statements. Is it empty though if it makes sense? Yes, the pistol was fired 3 times. But do you have any proof they were fired before midnight? Do you have any proof that the witness didn't think he had something? Indeed. Mr. Wright? There's no turning back now. Do you have any evidence that proves that the gunshot was before midnight? Do you have evidence that proves Mr. Butts wasn't hearing anything? Oh, this one, right? Look at this photograph. This was taken by a witness yesterday with an automatic camera. Timestamp on the photograph, December 24th. Yeah, 10 minutes before midnight. Oh yeah? Huh? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why the photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. The camera was set up to go off in response to loud noises. Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 10 minutes before midnight. And this is why this photograph was taken. In other words, there was a gunshot at that time that Larry claims. Order, order. That would make sense for the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen the night on that lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were two sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 10 minutes to midnight, and another at 15 minutes after midnight. And a third one, because everyone else had two gunshots. Why, I ask you? Why? Oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes. What's wrong, Nick? I have it. Huh? Remember the case of the Steel Samurai? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in the case was the same... The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. To... use existing evidence as a weapon? Because there was the fence, right? What do you mean? Maya? Yeah? If we don't figure out this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm going to run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? It's like a do. Apparently, it's a do or die situation. So, safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say something that sounds fishy. Okay? Okay, right, Nick. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright. The testimony now just now is cleared up the entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realized the truth. There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was out on the lake. Not true. Two of them. Well, actually, no, Larry said he was going to go back. This is shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, was on the boat. That's by our left hand, which contradicts the evidence. There was a gunshot fired on the boat. Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting, it was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on the boat. I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes. But that assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? The photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp proves it says it was 15 minutes past midnight. But Larry had the gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot in the lake. That's only why that's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Okay. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Can you explain who the two men on the boat are? Edgeworth and Hammond, Edgeworth the murderer. If the victim saw Edgeworth the murderer. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth wouldn't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything was when the murder took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Right. It's... I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Again, wasting my time? I don't know, because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 10 past 11. 10 to 12, sorry. He was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? What? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go through all the way to the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest the real scene of the crime is not the boat? Or not on the boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? That is actually true. Did we actually see any blood on the thing? It should be at the boat shop.
Take that!
Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have any proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. A nice little animation. The night he was out on the lake, on the boat searching for something. He finds it and returns to the boat. Then he starts to head home and he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor. Even though he wasn't wearing headphones, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would it be if he had just returned the boat? The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gold Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, I can take it slow and I might be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat called Robert Hammond to the shop. Damn. This was around 10 minutes past. I keep saying 10 minutes past. 10 to 12. That was when the gunshot that Larry had heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went into the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol in the boat because left-handed. Of course it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. You know, Mr. Rice, the moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer fired twice. To create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and fires his gun again. Then, the murderer jumps into from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men in the boat had just shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to the shop and put on Mr. Hammond's wet coat back onto the body. Then he threw the body into the lake. That's what happened, Your Honor. These are the evidence that transpired the night on Gold Lake. Bailiff, Bring out the witness from before. Boat shopkeeper, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take a stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said? Yes? Well? Why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes? Several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight of Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry. I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir? Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask you that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared, and he isn't at the boat shop either. Oh, we have a runner. He's running. What? What should I do? Find him quickly, obviously. We cannot allow him to get away. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. Goes without saying, but I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. We'll extend the trial until tomorrow, and the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize this to its full forces to find the witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is the boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want him to know who he is. Very well. The court is adjourned. That sounds like a victory to me. Damn, that's running for the rest of the... Okay. Yay, Nick, you did it. Yeah, well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Yeah, don't tell him that, though. The moment we tell him that, it's going to go to his head. Sure. Once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on the trial instead of the clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Yeah, it looks like he's about to cry. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably getting off the hook. You could try to smile, just a little, relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now. I don't know whether or not to tell you. I mean, tell us now, or forever hold your peace. Edgeworth? No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. What is it about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime that you committed. A memory of a murder. To be continued. Ooh, cliffhanger.